Hey Brittany, this is Sister Blake. I'm just here reading your essay, and I wanted to point out a few things. I like your topic, or your title, so that's great. You say here, is bullying morally wrong? It is time our children be more informed about the impact it can have on the lives of everyone involved. Then here you say, the psychological and emotional damage caused by such an action is very detrimental. So you're saying it's wrong, it's bad, but you haven't really said if it's morally wrong. I'm confused about why you brought in that word morally wrong, just as the reader, because you didn't really address what morals has to do with it. Anyway, okay, so there's just that slight confusion. But other than that, like, your statement is really clear. The psychological, emotional damage caused by such an action is very detrimental. You talk here about personal experience with your daughter. This sentence right here, you say, I spoke to my daughter about these issues, comma, my concerns of kids bullying other kids and the effect it has on the child and on the child being bullied. If I were you, I'd write, I spoke to my daughter about these issues, and then either change the sentence to say, either put a colon so that the reader knows the issues are my concerns for kids bullying other kids and the effect. Or say, I spoke to my daughter about these issues as well as my concerns for kids bullying other kids. Because right now, as it stands, that's a little bit confusing and it doesn't read very smoothly. Then you talked about your daughter and how it's normal to see bullying every day, and this is disturbing. So I like that you put this in here because it lets us know this is a necessity. We need to think about this. We don't just need to push it away and figure some kids get bullied, some kids don't. We need to really consider how we can teach and help improve this. You say here, watching her facial expressions go from searching to sadness. I would put a comma, searching, comma, to sadness, comma, as we watched a few video clips of family, friends, and classmates speaking in remembrance of their loved ones who committed suicide from the effects of being bullied, made it 10 times more real for her. That's really good because it helps her see that these are real problems and we really do need to be kind. One thing that I think is troubling is that you're talking to your daughter about this, but she's not really the one who is being a bully. It's really too bad that the parents of children who are the bullies are maybe not having these conversations with their kids. I mean, maybe they are. Maybe their kids are struggling to be kind to others, but it's good that you keep having these conversations to help your daughter. So then I just wanted to point out, so in your rubric, I'm going to grade you for your thesis, which I think was pretty clear. The question was whether or not it's morally wrong, so that was a little bit unclear. But then you also talk about, we talk about your support, so what you're doing to support your argument and your main point. You also need to talk about the opposing viewpoint. So I'm going to be looking for that as I continue to read, as well as the strength of your introduction, your conclusion, and your focus and organization throughout. So just, I'll be making little comments about that as we keep reading about those things. Okay, so anyway, you go on, so you've got this good support for your main point about it causing damage, because you're pointing out that this is a needed topic to talk about and that it really does cause problems. It happens every day in your daughter's school, and that's a good enough reason to be talking about it right now. You say here that bullying has become a national epidemic throughout elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. I believe you because I have kids in school, but you need a statistic here to prove that. How big of an issue is this really? So, like, you said that your daughter sees it every day, but how many kids are actually being affected by it? We need some numbers, some proof, like 1 in certain many, more girls than boys, or more boys than girls, certain ages. Is it more prevalent through certain ages? you need some more support here, not just say it's becoming a national epidemic. I need to hear an expert tell me what qualifies something to be a national epidemic. Generally, an epidemic is a health concern. It's something that reaches a certain percentage of our per capita. There are numbers that make something become an epidemic, not just a sickness that's widespread. So if you're going to say that, you need to just prove it. Either find a statistic that tells us how many kids are affected by bullying, or, anyway, those things that I just said would be really helpful to make your argument stronger right here. Then you define what bullying is, and that's good. You may want to also include the source for this definition. Is this just your source of, or your definition of bullying, or is this the definition of a psychologist or child behaviorist? That needs to be cited as well. So you're going to probably lose some points there for support because you're not using proof to support your argument. You also here say that cyberbullying is another issue, and I like that you talk about this because it's one of our main modes of communication nowadays. So of course it's going to be utilized to hurt people, which is really sad, but it is the way it is. So you talk about expectations parents want from the school is protection, but right here you would say the expectation parents have for the school is protection of their children. This just needs to be a little more clear, and it's have. We have expectations. We don't want them from something. We might want expectations, but we have them, or we want them, but not from the school. So we have expectations for the school. Anyway, so continuing on, let's go down to your conclusion paragraph. Actually, here you say, for example, our 2017 senior class here in Round Valley, voted a boy with autism as the prom king, choosing to treat him kindly and show that kindness by making him feel special and loved was such a sweet thing to see. This is nice. Kind of a tangent, but yeah, because you're not really talking about how that prevents bullying or changes bullying. You talk about how examples are endless of kids who aren't accepted or feel left out, and how we need to stop this. I agree with you. I just want to see some proof, some more evidence that lots and lots of kids feel this way. I do agree with you, but from a writing standpoint, you need to prove how many kids this is affecting. Your final statement is, being informed about the impact and effects of bullying is where it starts. So that's good. Your question, though, remember at the beginning was, is bullying morally wrong? And here is where your answer should be. Kids have chosen to make a conscious effort to make a real change in many lives. Being informed about the impact and effects of bullying is where it starts. So that doesn't really answer the question, is it morally wrong? So there's some confusion there for me that kind of shows me that there's not as much focus as there should be. Now you should have a works cited page. You didn't have any statistics that you quoted, but you should have had them. So that works cited page is kind of missing here. So anyway, I liked your topic a lot. I thought you brought up a lot of great things, and I liked the personal touches where you showed why this is important to you personally. I just think some more research, examples, and support would really strengthen your argument. You didn't talk about the opposing viewpoint. So those two things are really the strongest things that I'm seeing that you could work on, including support and expert quotes or statistics to show that you did some research about this and to strengthen your argument, as well as you need to address the counter argument and tell us why your opinion is right. So, okay. Hopefully that gives you some food for thought for your next essay and for this one as you reread it. You can go look at my comments to see the rubric of how each of these points was graded and where the point breakdown was. All right, thank you and have a good day. I hope that your baby's doing great, and I hope that you're feeling well too. Bye!